So today I'm making spaghetti squash for lunch, and I just rimmed out the seeds and put them in there. And so next I'm going to season it with some garlic salt, some onion salt. I'm going to rub it all over and inside, and some Italian seasoning, because I am going to make it spaghetti squash. So this is a half of one, and so it was a pretty big, nice size. So I cut that in half. I put the other one in a baggie. I let the seeds in it, and I'm going to leave that one for another day to cook. But I'm going to cook this one up. I think I'm going to bake it at 350 for 30 minutes. I believe that should do it. So next, I just seasoned it with garlic and onion and Italian seasoning, and I'm going to flip this over like so and place it in the oven and bake for 350 for 30 minutes. And then I'm going to do a turkey-based spaghetti sauce to go with it for tonight or this afternoon, probably tonight. But anyways, this is what dinner is going to look like for me. So I am making up my this is turkey that's 7.5 that's not good. Alright, thank goodness it's gonna get cooked. Anyways, I'm clean, I wash my hands before I start, So anyways, I'm just mixing. I put garlic, salt, onion salt, and Italian seasoning on here. And I'm going to bring it over to the stove and put it in my saucepan. So it's looking like it's going to be lunch, because it's only got 10 more minutes and this should be done. So, right now, my plan is to put a handful of onions in there and the turkey meat and get it going. And then I will be adding some, probably tomato sauce, and this dry roasted, fire roasted with garlic, diced tomatoes, in there to make my sauce. So I'm adding a cup of red onions to my turkey, which I'm getting started right now. So put my onions in there and my turkey, and I'm going to just get that going and cook down. And then I'll add my sauce, which is going to be the dried roasted tomatoes, fire roasted tomatoes, and the tomato sauce. So I'm making a turkey-based spaghetti sauce right now. That is 7.5 ounces of turkey with a cup of onions. We're going to get that frying up. I just turned it on. We're going to add, how many ounces? Let's see. 8 ounces of this tomato sauce. But first we're going to add the, I think this is 14.5 ounces of this fire roasted dried tomatoes with garlic. And on the back you see the nutritional value right there. You can pause it to look at it longer. And on this one, we're going to look at that real quick. Again, you can always pause it and look at that. So there you go. And so this, I'm going to start stirring. So you see I just put the dried roasted tomatoes in there. I've grounded the meat just a little bit, not too much. And so I'm going to let that set. I have the spaghetti squash in there. I halved it, and there's some little, things poked in there a little bit, little slices in the skin. I salted the ends. I de-seeded it, and I seasoned it with garlic salt and onion salt and Italian seasons. and I put it in there for 30 minutes, but we'll see how long it really takes. It's at 350. So right now I'm putting this on, and this is going to be a spaghetti squash turkey spaghetti sauce, and that'll be lunch, it looks like it's going to be. So yummy, yummy for me. So as you can see, I've got that boiling, and I've been stirring it for a few minutes, and now I've opened the spaghetti sauce, and we're gonna pour that in there just so it'll be a little thicker than what it is, and we will just let that cook until the squash is done baking, and then we'll let it boil up again, and then you just see it is looking pretty yummy. It'll thicken up a little bit, and so this is the first time I've made this. I've just created it, you know. It's about looking at what you got in your, you know, stock of groceries, and for me, vegetables, because I'm pretty much being very healthy, trying to do at least 50% raw vegetables, which is so salad, you know. I do a big salad. I do my smoothies, which those are raw, because I put those, well, except for the frozen part, but I do get raw fruit in there, and I do get raw kale in there, and the other two fruits I put in there are always frozen. So, I mean, I could just make it like a drink instead of a smoothie, but, you know, I find when you put the fruits in the freezer, and then it just comes out a little more frothy, or like a smoothie. So anyways, I'm going to reduce the heat on this. I had it on high, so we're going to reduce it, and I'm going to just keep stirring it, and I'm going to taste it to see if I need some more seasoning in. You know, you put whatever seasonings you like in it. That's my philosophy. I like a lot of onion and garlic. I love garlic. I do also the Himalayan salt. It's tasting pretty good right now. You know, if I had some basil, which I don't, I would probably put a basil leaf in there. But it's tasting pretty yummy. And I'm going to reduce it a little bit more, and just keep stirring it, and the spaghetti squash, you know, will be done, and then you'll see how to pull that apart. And then I will have a yummy spaghetti squash topped off with a turkey-based spaghetti sauce. So you can see it's simmering right now. There's about 8 minutes left. I ended up putting this on for 45 minutes. Just by looking at it, it wasn't quite ready at 30. So I added 15 more minutes to it. So I will let this simmer just a little bit more, and then I'll turn it off right before I turn that other off. Before I take it out of the oven. So, yummy. So now there's about 3 more minutes left, so I am going to turn this off so I can just let it set. Sorry, my niece didn't clean the thing after she cooked. Anyway, so it's still bubbling. I've got it off the heat. I'm going to take it off the eye. I'm going to take it off the eye there and move it over. So it's totally off the heat. It'll just set and rest until we're ready. You know, things I could have added would have been fresh mushrooms, which I don't have, so I didn't. I don't think I have any mushrooms. Usually there's canned mushrooms in the house, but like I said, I'm trying not to do processed. I thought about some carrots, just dicing them up in there. You know, you decide what you want, but it's got plenty of, you know, tomatoes in there. And the spaghetti squash is a vegetable, you know, it's a squash, so Yummy, yummy nutritionists. So you can see, here's my spaghetti squash. You can see where I seasoned it. I turned it upside down so that this part is like that. And I baked it. This is a half of a spaghetti squash. I mean, look at that. That's half. And then so there was another half. So it was a pretty big spaghetti squash. So 45 minutes for half of it. You can see where I put little slices into it like you would a potato. And so anyways, and then I seasoned it and I baked it at 350 for 45 minutes. So now we're going to ream it out. So, you know, it's like that just flaked off of there. And look at that. So, I've got the sauce over there cooling. And just to show you how easily this just comes off, I prefer to, you know, get the seeds out of it first. So I'm holding the thing, but the camera. So it takes two hands to do this. So I'm gonna put that on pause and show you a little bit later. So you see how that's coming out, and I'm gonna just keep doing that until I have my spaghetti all out of there. My noodles. It will probably fill this bowl. So that is what it's coming out looking like. You just keep scraping it out, and then I'm gonna put this bowl over on top of here on my measuring thing and get a weigh on it, so then I can measure out how many for me per ounces, because I am keeping track of all that, in portion size. That's what the game is all about. Losing weight is getting the right portions in. So you can see how it's coming out there, It's like a whole bunch of spaghetti right there. So it's looking like that, You can see a little bit of steam coming out if you look close enough. So I'm doing it as it's fresh out of the oven, because to me it's easier to just pull it all out. But I have a little cloth there so I can protect my hand. So I don't burn it on the skin of that, because it's still pretty nice and hot. So you can see I turned on my thing with the thing on it, because it'll zero it out, and then all I have to do is put in how many, my spaghetti squash, to find out how many ounces I have of that. So this is going to be a two-hand job. But you can see, basically my tools are this little handy-dandy scale and my magic bullet. I do have a couple of slicers, but I usually just slice them up with, So, you can see I almost got it all out of there, I'm going to get as much as I can out of there. You can see there's some bare spots back there in the back. But, yeah, so it's almost done. And we'll see how much it comes out to. So there you see I pretty much scraped it out. That's what it all looks like. I had to take it from there because that one, it turned itself off. So we're going to turn it back on, make sure it's zeroed out. Good. We're going to weigh it. So there, it yielded 16.3 ounces of spaghetti squash noodles. So now we're ready to just mix it all up. I'm getting the measurements because I want to figure out, how much ounces are in, so I can make it into my servings, so then when I do my calorie count and all that good stuff. But also for portion size, you don't want to eat more than, especially if you're sleeved, you don't want to eat more than 6 ounces, or maybe a little bit more than that, but not. So here we go. This is going to yield about 37, I think, 36.5, 37 ounces. So it's going to be about six 6-ounce portions. So 6-ounce portions, there's going to be 6 servings. There we go. So I'm going to stir it up. You can add a little bit of whatever you want. If you want to put a little olive oil on your noodles and toss them and put some more garlic salt on them, whatever you want to do, that's up to you. But I think I'm fine the way it is. It all looks yummy. Oh my goodness, that is looking so darn yummy. So that's going to give me 6 ounces, 6 servings. So the portion size is 6 ounces, and it's going to yield 6 servings. So, and I'll just, maybe I can put the calorie count down. Maybe I can't. I don't know. I'm going to have to find a way to get around that. Because like I said, YouTube wouldn't let me put the recipe on there, and I had calorie counts and the measurements, and I don't know if it was the calorie count or the measurements, but it wouldn't let me do it. So we'll try and see what we can do. But it's yummy. Delicious and nutritious for you. This is my lunch today on day 5, I believe, or day 6. I'm not sure, but the title will tell you which day it is of my Back on Track. Alright. I'm losing track of what day. So I'm going to measure this out into here so I can get 6 ounces. And then I will be storing it in here. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4. I use that as a double, so I split it in half. But, that's how I store it. I put it in the refrigerator, and then what I don't, eat, I put in the freezer. So these are freezer and refrigeratable and microwavable. So pretty good. That one's 6.1 ounce, so we're good. That fits perfect in that first slot, and then we'll just fill it up. So I'm getting ready to plate it. I'm going to zero that plate out. That's what I really like about this particular scale. Let me get it turned on. Oh, there, it's zeroed out. So there it is. It's zeroed out. I can put my last and plate it. So I have 4 servings over there, 1 serving in there, and then this is what I will eat today. So there we have it. There's the spaghetti squash, topped with turkey spaghetti sauce, and I'm getting ready to eat it, and it's going to look yummy. I will probably eat a piece of Ezekiel bread with it. It's sprouted bread, and drizzle it with a little bit of olive oil and some sea salt or garlic salt, and it will be yummy. So you can see I've sprinkled it with garlic salt. I have a little bit less than a teaspoon of olive oil that I'm going to drizzle on my bread like this, and just spread it around, and just, make it a little, like kind of buttery. I mean, you could put butter on there. Ghee would be really good. I don't have any ghee right now, but I like ghee. It's really good. It's got all the mucus, the fattening, bad stuff for you from the butter removed. But, butter, I hope, pure butter, not, all that other stuff, is really good for you, organic. But, so there's my yummy meal for the day. I can't wait to get into my lunch and drink some of my water. Maybe I need to down my water. I was drinking some of it while I was processing this, but I need to drink that before I eat this. So there we go. I hope you enjoy it. This is my spaghetti squash with turkey sauce, and Ezekiel bread with about a teaspoon of olive oil and some garlic salt on there. This is a 6 ounce, a little over 6 ounce, probably 6 ounce, 0.3 serving portion, and it's 1 serving. So here I go, yummy, yummy, yummy. Very healthy and very nutritional. It was a half of the spaghetti squash, which yielded about 17 ounces, and then a 14.5 ounce of dried roasted diced tomatoes with garlic diced, and then an 8-ounce can of spaghetti sauce, almost 8 ounces of turkey, and a cup of onions in the sauce. And I browned up the turkey and the onions. Then I added the diced tomatoes in there and let that cook for a little bit. And then I added my sauce and let that cook a little bit and boil down while I was cooking the spaghetti squash at 350 for 45 minutes. So, yummy, yummy, yummy.